Dougherty-Stokes, and welcome to Fun with Nails. If you're new here, welcome, and thank you for subscribing. Welcome back also to all of my usual viewers, and thank you for sticking around. If you like the content of this video, please give it a thumbs up, click that bell notification, and then you'll be notified next time I upload a new video. Today I'm doing another Easter mani, and this one I will be keeping on through Easter. So I'm using the an Easter set from last year. This is Eggs-travaganza. Yeah. And from this year I'm using Don't Make a Peep. And then I'm also using Cran-tastic. I'm using some twosies that I've had sitting around from when I was a color street stylist. I am not a color street stylist any longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually using Eggs-travaganza only on one nail. And that is going to be my ring nail. And just letting you know that I have prepped my nails. I have used, if I can get these out of here, I filed and pushed back my cuticles. I then also applied a base. I applied a regular base coat and not a peely base this time because I do want these to last. I don't want the chance at all of these popping off. Boy, these are really stuck together. So the base that I used is the Nail Aid Total Cure 9-in-1 is what I put on my nails. So I'm going to use this one. And then I'm going to take the rest of these. Actually, I may do them in two different. And keep the glitter ones, the plain ones, and the not wanting to cooperate with me. Okay, I'm going to put these in here. And I'm heat sealing it with my flat iron. And just letting you know, Color Street doesn't guarantee your sets if you seal them. Or reseal them to use later. Not that it really matters to me, because if I can't use them again, it's not a huge deal. I have a crap ton of them, so not a big deal. But heat sealing them, I've never, I think I've had one set actually dry out on me. And at that time, I did not know about Stacy's Stacy from Stacy Sassy Styles. She does flaxseed bags, and I'll tell you, they are amazing. On my last mani, if you watched that video, I had some wrinkles in my index fingers. After I got done doing my mani, I went and I heated up my flax bag. And, let's see. This is gonna go on my middle finger. I'm sorry. I gotta talk to myself here for a second. So I heated up my flax bag and I applied that to my my nails, and I heated up my flax bag for a minute, I believe it was, and I just put my nails on my flax bag for, it was only a few minutes, and it smoothed out those wrinkles. Thank you, Stacy. I know you usually watch my videos. I appreciate the flax bag trick. It worked amazing. And then once my nails set up, I put a top coat on and they turned out beautiful. I had them on for a couple of days, and I had a peely base on underneath, so turned out terrific. Okay, so I'm going to do Cran-tastic on my pinkies and index. So, and I'm going to double this because Cran-tastic is semi-sheer. So I am going to double this on my pinkies and my index fingers. Boop, boop. Okay. So again, like I said, I have already prepped my nails. And I took that top coat off, or the protective layer off. Oh, my sets have been really sticky lately. Starting to get warmer out. I live in southeast Minnesota. Yesterday we got hit with some heavy storms. My internet went out. Good thing I wasn't uploading a video at the time. My internet went out. I was actually trying to watch one of Stacy's videos at the time. And so I had to watch it in 2 parts because my internet just, it went out. I just couldn't watch it. It kept giving me the circle of doom. So once my internet came back on, I went back to watching Stacy's video. I was up quite a bit of the night because I was worried, and my cats were going nuts, and they don't like the thunder. We had hail, and well, the hail was a little bit earlier in the day, so that wasn't a huge deal, but still the thunder was just, it was freaking them out. And I live in a trailer home, so the sound of the rain was kind of freaking them out too. So that's that. But they got over it. I was rewatching my pedicure video. If you haven't seen that one, you should go back and watch it. I had my foot up on a chair doing my pedicure, and during the video, my one cat, Milk, had went one way under the chair, and then a little while later she went back the other way under the chair. So you could see her back but while I was filming, go back and forth underneath the chair that I had my foot on. And I didn't notice it while I was filming, or while I was recording, I should say. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh my gosh. Well, Milk had to make an appearance on video. But that's okay. I still love her anyway. Even though she can be a little hellion sometimes. Getting into stuff. Get off of there. All right, got the pinkies done. Takes a little bit longer to do the double, but I'm hoping this one's not sheer. Nope. Yay! So you have to let me know in the comments what your plans are for Easter. Do you celebrate Easter? I know some people don't celebrate Easter, which is fine. Each person has their own thing. When my kids were growing up, we actually ended up not celebrating Easter one year because 2 of my 3 kids ended up having chickenpox. So this was just months before the chickenpox vaccine came out. So I just aged myself and my kids. My oldest was in school. He was the first one to get the chickenpox. He brought it home, gave it to my 2 younger ones they were still home. Actually, my middle one could have been in school, but because of the way his birthday fell, they didn't want to let him in school. And they wouldn't test him because school was so full already, because he was ready. He was ready to go to school. His birthday is the 21st of September, and cutoff date is September 1st, so they wouldn't let him go to school. So I had him home, and I had my youngest home. My youngest was 11 months at the time. And ended up having all of them ended up getting chickenpox. My oldest got him first, and we were getting ready to go for parent-teacher conferences, and I noticed a spot on his face, and I told him, I said, come here. And he said, what? And I said, lift up your shirt and let me see your belly. Minding you, I got all boys. I said, lift up your shirt and let me see your belly. He did, and his belly was all covered in spots. So I told him, I said, well, you're not going in for the for conferences. He goes, why? I said, well, because you have chickenpox. And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, oh. I said, does your belly itch? And he said no. Well, he sat in the car with my husband and the two littles, or actually all three of them. He sat in the car, and by the time I went through conferences and came back out, he was itching. And then I believe it was about a week later, the other two ended up coming down with chicken pox. My middle one decided he wanted to take a nap, which was totally unusual for him. And then he woke up crying because he had slept so heavy. He ended up wetting the bed. And then at that time, I noticed he had spots on his belly. And I went to change my youngest one after he took a nap, and he had spots on his belly. So I ended up calling my mom and telling her we're not going to be able to come over for Easter dinner because the two little boys had chicken pox. Well, the biggest deal is because neither my brother or his girlfriend had ever had chicken pox. By that time, I had already had chicken pox twice. Crazy story there too. So yeah, we ended up not going for Easter dinner because kids had chicken pox, and so that was let's see, that was 1995, because my youngest was born in 94, and they ended up breaking out in chicken pox a year before he turned 1, or a month before he turned 1. So that was kind of crazy. And then exactly a year later, April again, my youngest ended up with influenza so bad that he ended up in the hospital because of dehydration. Because no matter how much I tried to get him to drink, he wasn't holding it down, and he ended up in the hospital. It was only a couple of days, so it wasn't too bad. It was just basically long enough to get fluids into him and start keeping food down, and then they let him go home. So it wasn't super bad. I did end up taking him to the emergency room when he had chicken pox because his fever had gotten so high, and everything that I tried doing at home, I couldn't get his fever down. I had tried the infant Tylenol drops, the children's chewables. I tried lukewarm baths, tried wrapping him in a damp sheet, and I called the emergency room. I told them what was going on, and they said, well, you've done everything that you can do at home. Why don't you bring him in? So I took him in, and he ended up having to get a Tylenol suppository in order to get his fever down. And they thought that they heard fluid in his lungs when I had taken him in, so ended up having chest x-rays. And he was the one to get chickenpox worse out of all of my kids. And he ended up having, he had him so bad, he had him in his mouth, down his throat, into his lungs. And I was like, I had never heard such a thing. I had heard of kids having them in their mouth and stuff, but never bad enough to be into their lungs. And I was like in total shock. And they said, yeah, that had been the worst that they had seen chickenpox in many, many, many years. And they said it was a good thing that the vaccine was coming out, because it was bad. It was really bad. He actually had a fever. The first time I had taken his temp, it was 103.2. And like I said, I had tried a couple of things to try and get his fever down. And at one time it was 103. I want to say it was like 103.4. By the time I got him to the emergency room, it was up to 103.6, I think, by the time I had gotten him to the emergency room and they had started giving him a Tylenol suppository. I was in shock. I'm really liking this. Don't make a peep. Yes, I threw the other half in the trash because I know it's not going to be long enough to fit on both nails. I got a tiny bit of a chunky glitter hanging over the tip. There we go. But this year, we're hoping that the weather's good enough that the grandkids are going to be able to go do the Easter egg hunt here in town. And we're hoping to go watch them do the Easter egg hunt. I haven't heard anything on a plan for dinner or anything, but Easter egg hunt. Been trying to put the smaller strip on my left thumb and the larger strip on my right thumb, because my right thumb is bigger than my left. Come off of there. These are just, they are really, really sticky. Okay, there we go. And the big thumb is just a tad bit too big for my right thumb. just the glitter. And I don't think I got it. There we go. There we go. I should have did this thumb first. There we go. There. Now let these set up overnight, and then I will top coat them in the morning, take a picture, and upload this video. So that's going to be it for this one. You all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.